Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in the chaos, the madness, bruv, that is 2020, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below or on our not so brand spanking new website www.lionstv.co.uk. This is your Thursday Club VT, where we're going to look back at Tuesday night's successful trip to Norwich City at Carrow Road, and we're going to look ahead to the final game before the international break. We are away to Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough this coming Saturday. But as always, first off, let's wind it back to Tuesday night, the return of Gary Rowett to the dugout. Let's have a look at the team he picked to start the match. So, Gaffer, I love you. The fans love you. The team selection was a little bit wayward, wasn't it, if anything? But we got the job done, so you can't really knock it. People were doing absolute conkers before the game. It was going nuts on social media, all over social media, not just on my links and my team sheet that I put out, courtesy of the manager. But as I said, he got the job done, and you can't argue with it. It was Bolkowski in goal, three centre-backs, Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper and Sean Hutchinson. Marlon Romeo, right wing-back. Scott Malone, left wing-back. It was Ben Thompson and Ryan Woods as a central midfield pairing, with Jeb Wallace on the right, Shane Ferguson on the left, and John Daddy Bavardson as a lone central striker. That is, of course, three changes from the team that lost 3-0 at home to Huddersfield. So maybe he's cracked the whip and he's read the right act, and that's why he made three changes. Over the moon to see Ben Thompson come back in, by the way, and until he was randomly taken off, I thought he was probably our best player, along with Bolkowski and along with Murray Wallace. Bavardson, I don't know why he started Bavardson, and Ferguson, who on the reflection of the game is even worse than Bavardson. But listen, I don't think Bavardson did too bad, if I'm brutally honest. And I'll get into that shortly. But that was the team we went with. Maybe, as I said, he's read the right acts, and after the 3-0 home defeat, he wasn't happy. So the game starts, and listen, I thought, I'm going to say it now, early, get out of the way, it was an absolutely brilliant performance from start to finish. And I will back that up by saying this: a brilliant performance doesn't always entail winning a game comfortably, winning a game comprehensively, scoring loads of goals, creating loads of chances. Sometimes you go to games and you've got a game plan, and if you execute that game plan perfectly, and you get out of town with your tail between your legs and a point against a team like Norwich, who are really, in effect, a Premier League side, it was brilliant. I thought it was outstanding. I'll tell you the reasons why. I thought we looked very compact. As a team, we usually get a little bit scattered across the pitch. I thought we looked very compact. When Norwich attacked, we had two very strong lines of 4 and a 3, or 5 and a 3. And we limited them to very few chances, shooting from distance, which they are good at. But what they're also very, very good at is getting in and around the box, and then doing 3 or 4 very short interchanging passes and unlocking the defence. And we were just on every touch of theirs. We pressed high, and I just thought we defended from the front well. Bavardson was getting balls shipped up to him on the halfway line, and a couple of times he's got his body in the way, whether they was fouls, whether they wasn't fouls, the ref's given them. And what he's done then, he's allowed the players to get up the pitch, the rest of the team. And to frustrate and limit and reduce Pukki to not really having any sort of opportunities in the first half, I thought was superb, especially off the back of what they did against Bristol City, by the way. They were devastating against Bristol City, went in 3-1 up at half time. It was 2-0 up after about 8 minutes. They was 2-0 up against Bristol City. So that was last Saturday. So to go there and do what we did on the back of a heavy defeat, by the way, at home, in Gary Rowett's first game back, I thought it was superb, and I didn't think you could argue with it. We're never going to go to Norwich and piss it. We're never going to go to Norwich and win 2-3-0, score loads of goals. We was always going to defend. And as I said, I'll go back to defending Bavardson, which doesn't happen often. Wouldn't matter who you played up front there. They're only really doing what Bavarson's going to be doing. They're going to be chasing lost causes, trying to win free kicks and buy a bit of time and a bit of possession and get your team up the pitch. And I thought Bavarsson did it brilliant in the first half. Second half, yes, he got outrun by Grant Hanley for pace, who's about as fat as me, by the way. So, yeah, it wasn't brilliant. But listen, I think if you're ever going to use Bavardson, that's what it's for. That's what it's going to be. He's never going to score a lot of goals, as I've been over this point many times. Not many of our players are ever going to score many goals because we don't get the service. But people are saying we've got to sort our striker situation out sooner rather than later. The club can't do any more than they've done, by the way. We've gone after 2 Premier League loans. 2 loans that usually, under previous managers, would have been, maybe not Kenny Jackett, would have been out of our reach, out of our league. And we've had some very unfortunate injuries to both of those players. So people are saying we need to get our striking situation sorted. It is what it is at the minute. One game left now before the international break, and Troy Parrott's going to be back after that, so I'm hearing. So it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if Parrott was fit. It wouldn't have mattered if Zohor was fit on Tuesday. All they was going to do was defend from the front, as I said, make a nuisance of himself, chase down the back line and try and win free kicks and possession and relieve the pressure off the defence whenever they could. And I honestly thought Bavarsson did that well. In the first half, the only chance we had was ball into the box. Marlon Romeo, by the way, who I was going to say crucified. I don't know if I've crucified him lately, but I haven't been speaking favourably about him, especially his exploits going forward, attacking further up the pitch. And I thought Marlon had a very good game. And as I said, I'll happily hold my hands up and say I was wrong. But it was an improvement on what he's been doing, a massive improvement on what he's been doing. And the only chance for the first half that I can remember is he puts a cross in, Bavarsson makes a nuisance of himself, the ball, loose ball, drops down, and unfortunately it falls to Sean Hutchinson, who sticks one well over the bar. But as I said, we reduced Norwich to long-range shots, really. Bolkowski did make a couple of good saves in the first half. That's what he's there for. And we did ride our luck on one occasion. I think the ball is a shot. It hits Marlon, hits the post, come back, hits Bart on the leg, flips up in the air, and Sean Hutchinson clears it with an overhead kick. So, as I said, to reduce the team of Norwich's ability, and especially ability to score goals, especially at Carrow Road, I think it was a brilliant first half. So the second half, it was pretty much more of the same. You could sense before half-time that the momentum was building a little bit more. And again, I said this during the live stream, which, by the way, nearly 6,000 people was tuned into. So we'll be doing one last live stream on Saturday before the Sheffield Wednesday game. Come and join us in those if you've got nothing to do at loose end or you're too tight to pay for. I follow. But yeah, I could sense just before half-time that the pressure was building. And I did say that I just felt the level that we were showing, the level of intensity, the level of pressing, closing people down. You can't keep that for 90 minutes, but I think we did. Ben Thompson gets removed not long after half-time, and I was very surprised at that. It did cut to Ben Thompson sitting on the dugout, and he was absolutely blowing out of his arse, but I'm sure he could have gone on for a lot longer. He's obviously coming from Ryan Leonard, who needed the rest, who has done well lately, but definitely needed that rest. And Thompson, again, was direct with his running directly at defenders, trying to take them on and get into advanced positions. Not afraid to try things. So it's good to see that time out of the team, one, he hasn't lost his sharpness, and two, he hasn't lost his confidence, and he's still not afraid to not only chase people down and win balls back high, but also when he's on the ball to be direct with his running and powerful and try and get beyond people. I love to see that. It just shows that he's not shirking responsibility. He's not running up the pitch, looking back, playing a 3-yard sideways pass or backwards. He was full of confidence, full of running. He was taken off. Now, in my opinion, that was a mistake, again, but Gary Rowett's answer to that could be, well, we got the result. So, okay, at the time, I thought I wouldn't have took Thompson off, our best player, until he was taken off, in my opinion. And we bring on Sean Williams. Now, I know exactly why he's brought Sean Williams on. He's brought Sean Williams on because he wants Sean Williams to relieve pressure, slow the game down, get us on the ball, get us keeping possession. That's exactly why he did it. And I thought, this will be an unpopular opinion, Sean Williams did it very, very well. I don't think that's the unpopular opinion. The unpopular opinion is, if I can get my words out, I think he did it better than Ryan Woods. And I would have liked to see Ryan Woods fuck off the pitch and Williams come on for him. When it was Williams and Woods, I like both those players. Willow's coming to the end of his playing time now, yes. But they're very similar types of players. They both sit, they both distribute. And I think Sean Williams in that second half showed exactly what Ryan Woods isn't doing. Because Ryan Woods does distribute, but what he does is he stands next to the centre-halves and distributes to them and then to the right-backs. He doesn't do it high enough off the pitch. And Sean Williams was retaining the ball, bang in the centre circle, right in the mix, right in the centre of where all the play was going on. And he kept the ball, spreading it left, spreading it right, having it back. And I thought we relieved a lot of pressure and took the tempo away from Norwich a bit. And then the longer it went on, it did look like we might stop. No, we had a good chance to win it. Yes, they kept coming forward. Yes, they had good chances. One brilliant save, remember, from Bolkowski. And it may not look like a brilliant save looking at the highlights. But someone gets through. Again, people just throwing bodies in the way. I think it was Sean Hutchinson on this occasion, or Murray Wallace throws their bodies on the line, didn't manage to block it. And it goes directly at Bart. And he stands tall and he saves it. He's done very well to stand up there for as long as he does, because it's very easy for a goalkeeper to go in, which I'm not saying they should or shouldn't do. I think he said they should do. Go in at someone's feet, spread themselves wide. And Bolkowski doesn't do that. And he waits to the very last second. It's almost point blank. And he stands up well and he makes the save. As I said, after that, we had the opportunity to win it. I didn't think Matt Smith was going to come on. But Matt Smith did come on for Bavarsson. Along with that, may have been slightly before Smith, Bennett come on for Shane Ferguson. And I'm sorry, Shane Ferguson, just not good enough. He's just not good enough for his standard of football. I don't mind him as a squad player. Yes, he's been at the club a long time. Yes, he blocked me on Twitter ages ago, but it's not why I'm hating on him. I just don't think he's a very good player. I'm sorry. League One standard, I can cope with him coming on at left back. Harry has started that game in front of Mason Bennett or Conor Mahoney. I have absolutely fucking no idea. And we looked a million times better as soon as Bennett come on, because Bennett was direct with his running, pacey, powerful, running straight at full-backs. He's not left-footed, but he's not shy to go on the outside and dink one in with his left foot. And we started to force a couple of corners, and we was unlucky towards the end. We could have nicked it. In fact, we nearly did nick it, didn't we? Ball comes to Mason Bennett. I can't remember how it got to him, but Bennett goes on a run, does exactly what I was saying, cuts it back to Sean Williams, who's coming in on his right foot, and he's nearly took the stanchion out. He's nearly took the Playboy mention out, hasn't he? But it's clipped the bar and gone over, and it ends 0-0. But it was an absolutely brilliant result, in my opinion. As I said, we might ask questions about the starting 11. We might ask questions about why Bavarsson and Ferguson started, and arguably, you know, Smith, Bennett, two of our main men haven't. And we may argue, why did you take Ben Thompson off? But at the end of the day, we've gone to Norwich on the back of a disappointing 3-0 home defeat to Huddersfield, and we've absolutely got the job done. It was a brilliant performance, in my opinion, and I'll stick by that. 0-0. Take it all day long. And so we move on to Saturday's game, the final game, as I've said before, the international break. We face Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. It's not been a happy hunting ground for us since our return to the Championship. In 3 seasons there, last year we drew 0-0. Bavarsson missed the series of death. My son still hasn't forgiven him for that. And the previous 2 seasons to that, we lost both games 2-1, both in midweek. I think Tom Elliott even scored in the first year. But yeah, not a happy place for us to go. If we're ever going to go to Sheffield Wednesday and get a point or a result, now is the time. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. However, they did win last time out in midweek 1-0 at home to Bournemouth. They're of course managed by Gary Monk and had a points deduction at the start of the season, 12 points. I think it's been reduced to 6 now on appeal, but it makes no difference. I've seen a lot of get Gary Monk out feeds on social media. So the fans ain't happy, and the club is in a little bit of turmoil. They signed a few players as well during the transfer window, but so far they haven't had any sort of impact. And as I've said, they lost 4 of their last 5 games, including defeats to Wickham and Rotherham. So, as I've also said, if there's any time ever we're going to get a result at Hillsborough, this is definitely going to be it. The one to watch for them is Barry Bannon, Barry Bunyan, call him what you like. The little bastard always seems to do the business against us, and I'm sure he'll be more confident than ever with his brand spanking new hairline that he's bought during the summer. Pre-match prediction, what am I going to say here? Thought long and hard about this as always. Now I don't just do them off the cuff, and I'm not going to say unfortunately, because I'd take a point. I'm going to go for a dire 0-0 draw. I hope I'm wrong. I'd rather it be 4-4 obviously, or 3-3, or even better still, we win the game. But I think we're going to follow up the result against Norwich in the week with another 0-0 draw at Hillsborough. So that's your lot for this Thursday Club VT. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to check out the fan score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV. Could have gone out tonight, could go out tomorrow. The boys are a little bit lax at sending their videos in, shall we say, if you're watching. Get your asses in gear, boys, and get those videos in. All that's left for me to say is I will see you over YouTube, not in person. We'll be live streaming again from 2:30 on Saturday for Saturday's trip to Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. See you then. If you're going to tune in, please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.